Now let's get some info on Kendrick Lamar's new album. All right. Salute to this is the content creator, so y'all go check him out. All right. I ain't no hater. Well, he ain't got no like button on this thing. All right. But let's check out the fanatic hip hop. All right. And let's see what he got on Kendrick Lamar's album information.
Were put out to flood everybody's timeline, and new hints that were alluding to the fact that he is going to be dropping more diss tracks on Kendrick Lamar soon. One of the most important things that came out of this storm of content that Drake was trying to win back people's attention with was not really about him at all, and was actually about the guy who has left him in shambles and is the reason why he is doing any of these strange things in the first place at the moment, which is, of course, Kendrick Lamar. Because after this summer where Drake has been running around and never looked more directionless in his entire career, all while Kendrick has ended up having an all-time great year for a rapper in every single sense of the word, from the respect to the acclaim to the numbers. By doing this all with just 5 songs released, he has had one of the most dominant years in recent hip-hop history, which has of course been led by the charge of Not Like Us. Because just with this single song, Kendrick has literally outstreamed and outcharted most full-fledged albums in the entire music world this year. And now between all the success from this record, and how quiet Kendrick has been since dropping the Not Like Us music video in July, and then how Drake has seemingly done Kendrick's job of making himself look horrible for him with every questionable thing that he has done this summer. At this point, as it seems like Kendrick's success has been solidified, people were starting to think that Kendrick Lamar's mission is done in 2024 and he will not be coming back out to give us any new music. But as rumblings about Kendrick, Drake, and the potential continuation of their beef has been coming back around, as Drake has been begging for it, the internet exploded with speculation about what the next moves from both of these rappers are going to be, and how while initially what set this conversation off was when DJ Academic said that Kendrick Lamar is coming soon. And now while Ack saying this alone is not reliable at all considering who he tends to support and be in the know with, and as a result of this, he was actually called out for lying by people close to Kendrick, but then adding a legitimate voice and perspective to the storm that was created by Academic's comments about the next chapter of Kendrick's career. A friend of Kendrick who goes by Hidden J3 posted a few text messages between him and Lamar about the prospect of new music, and in response to the rumors that came out from DJ Academics, what this exchange between him and Kendrick said is, "But A, is the album coming out or is you just on Demon?" And in response to this, Kendrick said 2 words that spoke volumes, and these were, "We coming." And now with this, as this user who posted the message is somebody who, as we can see, is friends with Kendrick Lamar and actually is followed by him, this is the most credible confirmation we have had recently about the fact that Kendrick's new album is coming out. But when you dig deeper into the facts and look at the landscape of both the music industry this year and also just look at the purpose of what Kendrick Lamar was really trying to do when calling out Drake beyond just destroying his biggest rival, it really shouldn't be a surprise that Kendrick is preparing to give us another full-length body of work. And on top of that he hasn't done it yet, because right off the bat, as we have seen in the music world, from Drake's absolute failure of handling this beef and its aftermath, which has weakened him way more than anyone would have imagined when Kendrick just released his own set of diss tracks, to the fact that Not Like Us has become one of the most dominant hits that the music world has seen in such a long time, as it is still cracking the top 5 of the charts with ease every week. It simply wouldn't make sense for Kendrick to release an album yet, because based on his opponent's playbook, and the fact that because of the will of the people, they are not over what he has already given them, he would only be stepping on himself right now, and everything he thought out so thoroughly to expose Drake at this point, and now...
So do y'all think he's waiting for Not Like Us to die down? He just because everybody is anticipating his album right now. So do you think he's just letting the song Not Like Us kind of, he just want Not Like Us to do as much as it's gonna do, and then once that dies down, he's gonna hit us with another banger, probably another single, or he just might drop the album, you know? I think that's smart to do, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he should take away the momentum that Not Like Us has right now, because it's Not Like Us is still, as y'all see, people are playing it at the HBCUs. People are still playing it everywhere. So Not Like Us still buzzing, right? So if he drops something else, that could possibly take, you know, some of the attention off of that song. So I think it's smart to, you know, just let Not Like Us just live as long as possible. Once it starts sizzling down, then bow, you know, drop some new music. So I get it. I mean, if that's what he's doing, I get it.
Now, while Drake fans think it's this big gotcha moment that Kendrick is letting the music world breathe so Not Like Us can be as dominant as possible, this is just such a flawed way of thinking and shows a fundamental lack of understanding in terms of how the music industry works. Because when you get a hit song like this, and especially one that is serving a greater cultural purpose each day because of what the song is actually saying and doing, why would you end its dominance before it has fully charted its course? But now as the summer is coming to a close, and it seems like Not Like Us is bound to begin to finally lose some steam, as it will now be months after the last music release we have gotten from Kendrick, the clock is now getting closer to being set off for his next major move. And while aside from the fact that we know that close collaborators to Kendrick who have worked on some of his best and most iconic projects like Terrace Martin have been in the studio working on something with him, and also that others like DJ Mustard have sent him a ton of beats over the past few months. We don't know any other possible info about the project, but even without more information, when you look at what this 2024 represents for Kendrick Lamar and what his mission with this beef was, his job of restoring hip-hop back to the place he wants it to be in is not. So when you understand that through all of Kendrick's diss tracks, he wasn't just attacking Drake this hard because of their personal differences, but also because he despises what his clickbaiting, number-driven model of artistry has contorted the culture he loves into. Kendrick destroying Drake in the manner he did was his way of repositioning hip-hop culture back into a place where it can thrive in an organic way that honors the art and the greater messages that were founded on hip-hop and change lives. But now in order to really crack the tides back and send the shockwaves that he needs to on such a great and significant level, Kendrick still has to follow this battle up with a body of work, because as the entire world will be waiting to see what he does next and how he moves after the beef. When Kendrick comes with this new body of work, and if it's anything like the rest of his catalog, just in terms of its quality, which means it will be an amazing record at that, he is going to completely reshape and reframe the public perception of hip-hop right now, because due to what he—
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. You know, the pressure is on Kendrick right now. Kendrick gotta drop a classic album. Like, anything below a classic album is this could backfire. You know? Kendrick gotta drop a fucking smash album, right? Because then people gonna say, oh, look, Kendrick can't, do this, right? I feel like, the pressure is on Kendrick. Not like he can't handle the pressure, right? It's not like Kendrick doesn't make good albums. He make good albums, but following this song, following what he did to Drake, the momentum and the anticipation and the expectations is at its all-time high, right? For Kendrick to deliver. So he's probably taking his time. Well, he is taking his time to make sure, he's going to give a classic album. This album that he's going to drop, it got to be a classic to follow up what he did to Drake, right? Because then the nation of Drizlam is going to say, oh, y'all only care about Kendrick Lamar when he dissed Drake, but look what happens when Kendrick Lamar makes his own music. Y'all don't support him, and it's like that, right? So that's what especially academics is going to say, right? Because imagine if Kendrick don't deliver, right? As far as, numbers and all that bullshit that academics, see, I told you, Kendrick don't, man, he gonna go crazy, right? But even though Drake has flopped, he's currently flopping, and you see how academics is moonwalking Drake out of his floppage. So, he's trying to make light out of Drake flopping 15, 12 songs this summer. Drake has dropped 12 songs and they all flop. And these are not really his songs. He's just testing out the water. These aren't official songs, whatever the case may be. But let Kendrick Lamar drop an album and he get these same low numbers as Drake. Man, academics might have a heart attack online. That nigga might catch a stroke. As much screaming and yelling he gonna do, right? But I ain't gonna lie, the pressure is on Kendrick to deliver. I feel like, he knows that. But in my opinion, I think he's going to deliver. You know what I mean? He's a artist of he takes pride of being a artist and being creative and making good classic music. So I'm not doubting Kendrick at all. But I would be a fool to be like, there's no pressure. No, there is pressure. There is pressure. Kendrick got to deliver. But I think he will deliver, right? I think he will deliver.
He has done and where he has put the genre at. Not just rap, but the music world has never cared more about lyrics and the nuances that define hip-hop at its very core when it's at its best. So now with all of this, I think it's safe to say that we are bound to get a Kendrick Lamar album very soon. And now with even more tweets from the people around Kendrick saying that they are not going to be focusing on pointing things back at Drake again and instead are going to be releasing music that is serving a different and seemingly greater purpose, I think this confirms what Kendrick is really trying to do with this album if it wasn't already clear. But now as Kendrick has this mission to complete, and despite how pathetic somebody like Drake has been, if Drake was somehow able to release another massive hit that has anywhere near the same impact that one of his #1 hits in the late 2010s did, while it seems like Drake couldn't even crack the top 20 if he tried right now. We can't fully discount his track record and underestimate him, and as Kendrick Lamar literally won this beef in a landslide by never letting up on Drake and putting the gas on him despite their clear difference in skill levels, all while Drake lost as miserably as he did because he did not properly estimate what his opponent was capable of. It doesn't seem likely that Kendrick is going to underestimate Drake here, as this just wouldn't align with his genius battle strategy. So with this, it seems like Kendrick has to release this album within the next couple of months to make sure that he completes this mission that he set himself out on, or it could have all been for nothing in terms of the greater sense of it all. So now, if I had to estimate when this record will drop, considering how thought out everything Kendrick has done during this moment in time has been, as from releasing Like That when Drake was still on tour, to 616 in LA having countless different meetings that all mirror the demise and failure of Drake, to the Not Like Us music video coming out while Drake was at Michael Rubin's white party. In line with these moments that despite Kendrick seemingly being done with head-on disses for Drake at the moment, as he is still trying to quietly destroy him at this point and make every single living moment of his a nightmare, I think he is going to continue this trend to symbolically represent just how he's changing the tides in hip-hop and release this album in late October, as Drake's birthday is on October 24th, which is a Thursday.
Now that would be hilarious. A lot of people are, saying that this is when Kendrick is gonna drop. A lot of people are running with this theory on Drake's birthday. That would actually be funny. Is he gonna do it? I don't think he's gonna do it because he sees what YouTubers are talking about. I bet you a lot of his information that he got, is from YouTubers and researching and stuff like that, especially with the Monkey app and all that stuff, right? So I'm sure Kendrick knows that we already anticipating, him to drop on Drake's birthday. So since we already anticipating that, I don't think he's going to do it because we already guessing like, yeah, he's going to drop on Drake's birthday. So, but if he actually does it, it still be funny. You know what I mean? I think it would still be funny if Kendrick dropped on Drake's birthday. I think even if he knows that we expect it, if he still does it, I think that's still going to be funny. I think that's still going to be funny.
So Kendrick could come with his actual version of the Hard Part 6 then and actually put out the album on Friday the 25th. And while it's impossible to predict what Kendrick is really going to do, as he is one of the most unpredictable artists of our generation, just in terms of how creative and boundless he is, all signs are pointing to the fact that this album is near and it is going to be coming sooner rather than later. Because if Kendrick does not deliver the moment that will follow up on this beef and completely recontextualize the state of hip-hop, as Lamar creates a new blueprint and sets a new standard for rappers to follow on. In terms of what this beef will represent for hip-hop when we look at how the genre will grow and move past this era where Drake has seemingly exploited rap music and created so many of the worst parts about it today, without this extended musical force from Kendrick, it could all be for nothing. So now with all that said, let me know. Do you think my prediction on when Kendrick is going to drop is correct, or do you think he is going to be coming around another time? I can't wait to hear what
I just hope he releases before the new year. You know what I mean? I don't want to be waiting for 2025. We got 3 more months. He better drop before the near. Fuck it, Kendrick, you better drop before 2024 end. Goddamn it, we need some new music. I ain't gonna cap to you. All right, the pressure's on you, Kendrick. You gotta drop before the year ends. Shit. All right, because Kendrick do be taking a long ass time, Shit, goddamn, how much time you need, nigga? Fuck. All right, lock your ass in the studio and come out with you got to drop. Shit, I mean, if you ask me, I want some shit now. Pause, no Diddy. You know what I'm saying? I say by the end of this month. Shit. Nigga always taking 3-4 months. Now, I ain't gonna lie, this nigga do be taking a long ass time to make music now. So I don't want to be waiting until 2025. You got to drop this year. All right, Kendrick? Shit. Having us on wait, nigga. Got some shit. But, so it's going to be very, interesting to see when he drops, how he drops. Is he going to drop a single before the album, or is he just gonna randomly just drop an album? I think at this climate, nobody really does like scheduled releases anymore. You know what I mean? Like I think saying, "Hey, my album coming out September 24th," like that's so 2000. Who does that anymore? You need to take the internet by storm and just randomly drop that bitch, right? That's what everybody doing, right? Come into your Instagram and say, yeah, my album coming September 32nd. And it's like, So go ahead and just, drop it unexpectedly by the end of this year, okay? Thank you kindly. All right. So now we got that out the way. Let's get to good old Aki Wacky. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Salute to y'all. So we just went over all of that. Make sure if y'all new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We got 440 people up at this thing. Let me give a shout out to the chat real quick. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate your participation. Salute to everybody typing in the chat.